Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am certain that you are happy to be riding along with me. In fact, you probably wish you were riding along with me right now, because every time you see an adventure of mine, you've noticed that it's always been filled with little miracles. What do I mean by little miracles? Well, the first thing I want to talk about is our decision-making process and how that ties into miracles. Did I ever tell you guys the story about this pendant that I'm wearing? Basically, it's a piece of fossilized coral, and it washed into my hands when I put my hands into the ocean and humbly asked for something that I could change into a piece of jewelry without very much effort, because most of you guys know I'm not a jeweler. The point is, we all have our own unique perspectives and experiences. The biggest thing that we don't happen to usually do is use our decision-making process. Maybe only a certain number of people will understand that the decision-making process and the miracle of healing begins with our intention. This doesn't mean, for an example, on this earth, that everything is going to be in favor of trying to guide me easily into that intention, into that purpose. For me, the distractions are many, and for you as well. And the distractions are so many that sometimes we can intentionally hamstring ourselves with too much entertainment and never come to the conclusion that we were absolutely trashing one another, let alone the planet. Hence, showing all of the rubbish on the trails occasionally, if that's what I happen to see. If on another day I happen to see armadillo after armadillo after armadillo, and if I know, because I've seen this before, that in terms of patterns, this is what the weather is going to do next, this is most likely what's happening in our climate, etc. and so forth. If I know that from experience, then it's my duty to share that experience with you, the viewer, who is coming to this channel to learn something, even if it's just about yourself. And for whatever reason that I'm being critiqued and constantly told what I need to showcase, it causes me a great passion to realign the conversation back to where it needs to be. Let me just continue to demonstrate by showing you what I came here to show you in the rest of this video.
The other day I was talking about the ability or inability to do squats and how that tied into our health. Today I'm attempting to showcase different ways of visualizing intention while also showing you some of the things that I tend to notice along the trails, and also some of the things I try to do aside from seated squats. I hope you pardon the extra weight I've been carrying around, and also make note of how I was just about to put my feet back on the ground until I saw these people coming. I didn't have any clue they were approaching until all of a sudden I saw them.
Good morning.
How's it going?
All right, how you doing?
So as you possibly saw there, I was able to hang on a little bit longer than normal. In hindsight, when that second rider passed by asking, "How's it going?" I should have said, "Oh, I'm just hanging out."
One thing that I think is definitely true, here's an insect. See if you get to see it. I don't know if that showed up on the video, but there are still way fewer. Listen, here comes the wind. Do you hear any birds? You might. Do you hear as many as you've heard in seasons past? These woods are very quiet.
In the prior clip, I was mentioning the probably obvious decline in sounds from wildlife activity that we would normally hear in the past. Take a listen for yourself. Has anyone watched the Stranger Things Mall series where people who were infected liked it cold? It was 86 degrees out by the time I finished my walk, and today I saw people starting their walk using sweaters, jackets, and otherwise appearing like as if it was cold as could be outside, even though it was almost 90 degrees. Anyway, Stranger Things aside, I hope that we're all praying for reasonable rainfall for one another. Looks like we might have some in our forecast. So just to clarify about the decision-making process and miracles, to clarify what I was trying to say, the fact of the matter is that there are some of us who are not ourselves. When we are ourselves, even under duress, we will act in the same way that we would have acted before. Same way as when some people get intoxicated and supposedly become violent when they're intoxicated. They're already violent. They have those tendencies. They have those ideas. They just are not acting out on them. In regard to truth and what do you want to call it? Metaphor. There are different parables. There are different ways that these stories can be told, but none are more compelling than a personal heart-to-heart. So thanks for joining me on this heart-to-heart. I hope you appreciated our time together, and I hope that you are doing well. I see the wreckage through the waves.
much for choosing to listen to this interesting creation. And till next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.